Salam alaikum, Mehmet and Scott. Hello. In Japan, you would say Otskare-sama, which means Khaste naboshi in Iran. In English, we don't have it. DooBeeDoo is international, so I really enjoyed tonight, and congratulations and happy birthday to Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just because it seems like you did it together, could you tell us a little how it happened, why you are doing this, and about the fun thing you said on stage, and then we talk about your beautiful band.
Okay, so the festival Is America Part of the World started a couple years ago. Nation Beat was invited to perform at a World Music Festival in Madison, Wisconsin, and after they invited us to perform, they asked us to after they invited us to perform, they asked us to please not play the songs in English, especially the American country songs. So we asked them, well, why? And they said, well, because this is a world music festival. And we said, well, isn't America part of the world? So that's where the idea came from, because, you know, a lot of the world music people, they tend to ignore the bands that are coming out of the United States who are mixing elements of music from other parts of the world, but they don't really consider it world music because it's coming from here,
right?
You know, and the thing is that the world is getting smaller, and local musicians are learning these other styles of music, and they're regenerating it and finding these points of convergence where the music that they grew up with has a relation to the music that they're inspired by,
right?
You know, and this is a whole new thing, because, you know, when my parents grew up and my grandparents grew up, they didn't have the internet. They weren't listening to music from some remote village in South America or the Caribbean or Africa. Now it's so easy. So this whole thing of mixing so many different styles of music is really starting to catch on with musicians, younger generations, and it's becoming a movement, and the world music industry is ignoring that right now. Some of the world music industry, some of the festivals are really great and very open to these bands, so that's how the festival started.
And you started with Mehmet together?
I asked Mehmet to, because Mehmet and I had worked together on other events in New York City, and I knew that he was a great promoter, and when he gets involved in something, he really takes it and goes all the way. So when I got the idea, I knew that I couldn't really do this by myself.
Right.
So I needed somebody, and Mehmet was the first person that came to mind, and he's been working. This is the third one we did together, so we've been working together for a couple years now.
Mehmet?
Yes. Have nothing to add. Yeah, summarized it also all too well.
Okay, before I ask my question to Mehmet, then you could talk about your band.
Okay. Oh, you want me to talk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, what do you want me to say about Nation Beat?
Well, I watched it, so I could feel that all the songs were really a mix of all kinds of genre. So I went, when I got the information from Mehmet, I thought it's more of the Brazilian funk band. So I would say it's more of a country Brazilian band than Brazilian funk. Am I right?
Of course.
With a slide guitar.
However you want to interpret it is your interpretation. There's no right or wrong. It's a band that you can't pin down. There's no genre. There's no one style. So if that's how you interpret our music, it's right. You know.
What do you call your band?
Nation Beat.
Why Nation Beat?
Well, nation is in Portuguese the word nação.
Yes.
Which means nation. Beat is in Maracatu, they call Maracatu de baque virado, which means the beat, the flipping beat. So the Nation Beat, the name of the band came from the Maracatu groups, because they're all called nações, nations, and they're called baques, beats. So I took the name from the maracatu, the traditional maracatu groups from Brazil.
Okay. Mehmet, are you a musician too?
I'm not.
Can you play any instrument?
I know how to play the piano a little bit.
So, as he said that you are a team, so what is your function then in the team? Are you the quarterback maybe?
I'm the one behind the scenes, behind the curtain in the kitchen, whatever you want to call it in different cultures. And my goal is to spread the news, spread the information about the show, and also make sure that we hit the right angles in the press, especially trying to garner as much online attention as possible. But then also just be able to spread this whole notion about, you know, that genres are breaking down, that we don't, like world music is such a redundant term for us at least, you know, like Scott said, whatever you want to call this music, that's what it is. For you it might be Brazilian country, for somebody else it might be, you know, fun music, for somebody else it might be sing-along, you know, nursery rhymes, you know, whatever they call it, they want to do it. So my goal is to help him spread, you know, this notion that, you know, there are no barriers, and, you know, through our relationship, you know, working in the industry, we get in touch with a lot of different bands. So far we've hosted shows with Foho in the Dark, DJ Nicodemus, Red Barat, Rupa and the April Fishes. Tonight we had Total Trees and Brooklyn Cavalli Party. So there's a, you know, really nice, good mixture of bands that bring together many different sounds and cultures together. We've done 3 shows in Brooklyn. Our 4th one maybe in Manhattan. Our 5th one maybe, you know, out of this state. Our 6th one maybe out of this country. As long as we can push this notion, and we have people believing in us and fans to dance with us, we'll keep pushing.
Well, we know you actually, the DooBeeDoo readers from the Istanbul Live. Have you ever played at Istanbul Live?
Nope.
He's not Turkish yet, but he's working on it.
but I've been there. But I've been to Turkey, and I love it.
And he has a really fun story.
And the last thing you mentioned on stage, that you were so lucky to get a fund from
this event this time was sponsored by the Brooklyn Arts Council. It was a small grant that I applied for and was awarded. So yeah.
And this goes to show how important funds are for events like this.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for that fund, you know, we were considering of, you know, other options. But this really helped us develop this concept and put it on. So any non-profit organizations out there or people who would love to just fund this, maybe we should do our next event with Kickstarter or something like that. Raise some funds, you know, for bands participating. But that's where the internet is going anyways, you know, in my opinion. So, you know, that's the beauty of our event. That's the beauty of the new generation. Digital technology all coming together and converging and giving people new opportunities to present music in different forms.
Good. Okay. I'll thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keep going and keep fighting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.